If you're a financial advisor or insurance agent buying leads and you can't quite figure out why they're not closing at the rate the vendor promised, there's one mistake killing more of your conversations than everything else combined. We call it the cardinal sin of selling to paid leads. And if you have ever heard a prospect say, "Send me some more information," and then watch the deal die in the silence that followed, you've committed it. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to name the myth that makes you do it, show you exactly what it looks like on a real call, give you three phrases that tell you the deal is already dead, and then hand you the one shift that stops it completely. So, who am I to call this out? Well, I'm an insurance producer who took my agency from zero to $50 million a year in annuity production, completely virtual, in just 2 years. And I also own an independent RIA. And over the last 8 years, I've helped more than 1,700 advisors install the exact system I'm about to walk you through. I've watched thousands of paid lead calls get worked live. The closers and the strugglers. The ones building seven figure practices and the ones burning through credit cards trying to make the math work. And here's what I've learned watching all of them. The difference between those two groups is almost never talent. It's almost never the product. It's almost never the lead quality. It's almost always this one sin. If you've ever felt like you did everything right on the call and the prospect still ghosted you, this video has the answer to why. So let's start out by naming the myth underneath the sin. Picture a call you've been on. You log on for the appointment. You see the prospect has $500,000 sitting in a retirement account. And before you said one single word to the person, you're already thinking about which annuity to present, which carrier, which rate, maybe which rider. You're already in product mode and you haven't even said hello. The call starts, a little small talk, 30 seconds of weather and family, and then you pivot. You ask something like, "So tell me what you're looking for in retirement income." The prospect gives you a vague answer, something about just not wanting to run out of money, and you lean forward and say, "Well, based on what you just told me, I think I have something that would really work for you. Let me walk you through it." And just like that, you've committed the cardinal sin. Here's the myth underneath it. It's the belief you've picked up somewhere along the way that makes you do this every single time. You believe that because somebody opted in online, on a retirement page or an annuity ad, that this person is now problem aware, solution aware, and product aware all at once. You believe they're ready to buy. You believe the whole job now is to show up, present the annuity, and close. The belief is completely false. Opting in for retirement content does not mean a person is ready to talk about a specific annuity. It means they have a general concern about their retirement. Those are two completely different levels of awareness. They're miles apart, but you can't tell the difference because you've already started mentally presenting a product before the first hello. And the moment you mention a product, the prospect shifts. A second ago, they were a curious human being thinking about their retirement. Now they're thinking, "This person is trying to sell me something." That's the buyer's frame, and once they're in it, every single thing that you say for the rest of the call sounds like a pitch. So, how do you know when you're already in the buyer's frame with them? There are three specific phrases your prospect will say when you've committed the cardinal sin. Know these, and you'll spot the damage in real time. If you've been in this business for more than 6 months, you've heard all three of these phrases, and you know the feeling when they come out of a prospect's mouth. It's that sinking feeling, that moment where you know the call is over, but you're still pretending it isn't. You start selling harder. You offer to send a little more information. You schedule a follow up call you already know they're unlikely to show up to. You've been there. I've been there. Every advisor who's ever worked a paid lead has been there. These three phrases are actually the kiss of death, and every one of them shows up because you entered the buyer's frame too soon. Here are the three phrases. Three specific things your prospect will say when you've committed the sin. Know them and you can spot the damage in real time. Number one is, "I'm not interested." They say this because nothing you said connected to what actually is keeping them up at night. And nothing connected because you never asked what that was. You jumped to the solution before they'd admitted they even had a problem to solve. Number two, "I need to think about it." They say this because there's nothing to think about. You never made a problem real. There's no emotional weight behind the decision, so they stall and then they ghost. And number three, the most common one, the one that feels the most polite, but actually is the most fatal, it is, can you send me some more information? Now, translated from polite prospect into plain English, that phrase means, seems like it would benefit you a lot more than it benefits me, and I don't know why we're still talking about this. Please go away in a way that doesn't make either of us feel bad. That's what they're actually saying. And you've heard it so many times, you've stopped counting. Now, you might be thinking, fine, I'll just send the information and close it on the follow up call. Here's why that doesn't work either, and why chasing the information game keeps you completely stuck. Think about the last time you bought something big: a car, a house, a vacation. Did you buy it because you read the manual? Because somebody sent you the spec sheet? Of course not. Nobody buys a Ferrari by reading the user manual. You buy the Ferrari because of how it feels when you sit in the driver's seat and turn the key. The manual is useful later, sure, but nobody decides to own a Ferrari because they read the manual first. It's the same with your clients. They don't buy the annuity because of the compounding roll up rate or how the high cap rates work. They buy it because their income is going to drop 60% the day they stop working, and this finally solves it. That's not information, that's a problem they actually want to solve, and those are two very different things, aren't they? Here's the rule most advisors miss: people don't buy things that make sense. If they did, more information would lead to more sales. But we both know it doesn't. Information is everywhere. Google exists, YouTube exists. Every annuity company has a public website with every rate, every feature, every benefit laid out in great detail. If your prospect just needed more information to make a decision, they'd have found it already and they'd have bought without you. The reason they're talking to you is not because they need more information, it's because they need somebody to help them decide. And decisions aren't made with information alone, they're made with emotion and then justified with logic after the fact. Sending a PDF of a company brochure or a personal illustration after the call is not going to close the deal. It's going to sit in their inbox until they delete it. So if information doesn't close the deal, what does? It's not a smoother pitch, it's not a better closing line, it's a complete shift in how you show up on the call, and it starts with a mental reframe that I want you to steal. Think about what happens when you go to a real doctor for a problem. Does the doctor walk into the exam room and say, "Good morning, have you considered this new blood pressure medication?" No, that'd be crazy. They'd probably get sued. Instead, the doctor asks questions. They diagnose. They ask what hurts, where it hurts, how long it's been hurting, what makes it worse, what makes it better, and only after they have a clear diagnosis do they prescribe. That's exactly who you need to be on a call with any lead. You're not a product peddler. You're a financial doctor. You diagnose before you prescribe. You uncover the real problem before you ever think about the product. Here's what that actually sounds like in practice. Instead of asking a generic question like, "What are you looking for in retirement income?" you ask things a product peddler would never ask. You ask, "Walk me through what your retirement actually looks like financially. What's the income plan today? What happens if one of you passes first? What happens if one of you needs long term care and the other one has to keep the lights on for another 15 years?" You're not selling anything yet. You're just listening. You're asking questions that uncover real concerns. And something almost magical happens when you do this. The prospect starts telling you their fears: the income gap they're scared of, the tax bomb they haven't planned for, the spouse they're worried about leaving behind. And by the time they're done answering your questions, they've basically sold themselves on needing a solution, haven't they? Your job is now to be the person who happens to have the answer. But notice what had to happen first. You only earned the right to present a product once a real problem was sitting on the table between you. That's the rule. No problem to solve means no product to present. And when you follow that rule, two very different things happen on the other side of the call. Advisors who commit the cardinal sin, their best case scenario is what I call the give up sale. The prospect agrees to park $25,000 or $50,000 into something just to end the conversation. They gave up. That's not a happy client. That's a client who's trying to get you off the phone. They'll never call you back. They'll never refer you. Now compare that to an advisor who diagnoses first. Same lead, same assets, same product, but because the advisor uncovered a real problem the client actually wanted fixed, the client wants the full solution. $300,000, maybe 500, sometimes more. And that client is on the phone with their brother-in-law the next day telling them, "You have to talk to this person that I just spoke with." Same lead, same call, two completely different outcomes. The only variable that moved was whether you led with a problem or you led with a product. Now, everything I just showed you is the concept, the belief shift, the rule, but there's a specific framework our top producers use to run this diagnosis on the very first call, and it's too much to cover in one video. Here's what I want you to do next. Before your next paid lead call, ask yourself one question. Do I have a clearly defined problem this client actually wants to solve? If the answer is no, keep diagnosing. If the answer is yes, now you have permission to present. That's the rule, and it changes everything. And if you want to see the exact framework our top producers use to diagnose the problems on the first call, the step-by-step version of everything we just talked about, I made a video called The Retirement Professional's Creed. It's the practical how-to for what we just covered. Click it right now on the screen, and I'll walk you through the whole thing.